Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Makar Kudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule impeccably well. Shalom to the brothers out there pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the globe in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanal from the GMS England branch. This will serve as an in-transit edition video, Lord willing. It's edifying unto you brothers out there and few sisters listening and also learning, all right? Now, I just watched the movie The Day After, which is an old movie, I believe it was released in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken. And, the apostles had made reference to this movie, recently, during the camp. And, I think I saw it, a very, very long time ago, before I was in the faith. So, the Spirit jumped on me to say, you know what, let me actually watch this, let me watch this again. And, take it in, because, when you watch something, when you're in the truth, it's completely a different experience as to watching it, when you're in the world, all right, when you're void, of the light, of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So, I watched the film, and, hey, that was a bad film, all right? That was a bad film because they, practically show you, the end of America. They show you, leading up to, the end of America, with, the wars, World War III commencing, throughout the earth. And then, slowly but surely, Russia attacking Babylon the Great, all right, launching their missiles, man. And they also show you how, the American military, in the film, had launched their missiles, all right, to Russia. And then you even had one of the characters in the film, he said, yeah, that's going to take 30 minutes, to get there. And he said, well, that means that Russia's already launched theirs, all right, because the government was basically keeping it under wraps as to who attacked first, all right, who launched what, first, okay? And, leading up to it, before, all of that happened, you had certain people that were in denial. You had, marriages being planned, all right? People saying, they're going to get married, tomorrow. Little did they know that, the ICBM missile was going to completely, annihilate and obliterate them, okay? You also had a scene where this particular guy was just, crazy in denial. Everywhere he went, everyone was talking about, World War III and what was going to happen, all right? And, everyone was in fear, but he wasn't trying to hear it, all right? He was trying to, block his ears from the truth. And he also had a woman, the wife of this man, she was in denial too. She was going on like, the missiles weren't going to drop, and she was just doing her day-to-day activities. She was cleaning the house, making the bed up, and he pretty much had to drag her to the cellar, all right? Because that's where they were going to retreat, to hide from, the radiation and the blast. They went into the cellar, and they stacked food down there, because they didn't know how long they were going to be there, because obviously radiation, it lingers for a very long time, all right? But she was in denial. She wasn't trying to, accept that an ICBM missile was going to drop, all right? And it just shows you that is actually the mind of the people now, all right? People don't want to acknowledge or accept, what's happening in the world, okay? They don't really, when they hear of World War III, being reported on the news, being reported on, in articles and whatnot, they don't take it seriously, okay? They people, you got people out there that think that, we will never let it get to that stage, World War II, World War I and World War II was so devastating, humanity, so-called humanity, have learned our lesson, and we will never let such, a thing happen again. But what you gotta understand is that this is biblical prophecy, man. And this is the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. As the scriptures say, the second woe is past, and the third woe, all right, making reference to World War III, cometh quickly, man. All right, so these things are actually going to happen. So when we see articles about World War III, about tensions in the Middle East, all right, regarding, Iran, when we see information regarding China, America, Russia, all right, we get excited, Turkey, okay? We get excited when we see, the advancement of World War III, because we understand that it's biblical prophecy, man, all right? Oh, Isaiah 55 and verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. It's already been spoken into existence, man. All right? So the things that you see happening throughout the world is all leading to World War III. All right? But that is a great movie, that the apostles, recommended, to watch, man. It's very edifying. And it just shows you, the stages of, the minds of the people. Because when it came to the point where it was undeniable, that's when people started to panic. That's when people started to try and, drive as far away as possible. All right, go, head on the motorways and, try and drive out from the cities. Not knowing that it doesn't matter where you drive, all right, you're going to get caught by that ICBM missile fire. And it's pretty much going to be the same, all over again as you see in that movie. But it's going to be much more devastating, man, because the scriptures say that there's going to be, the scriptures say in Jeremiah, spare no arrows, man. So these nations are going to come against Babylon, all right, America, with great wrath. They're not going to spare no arrows. They're not going to spare, any of their weaponry, man, them ICBM missiles, man. They're going to give America all of it, man. All right, it's going to be a devastating destruction, man. That's why Daniel 12 speaks of a time like never before upon the face of the earth, man. Because there's going to be many devastating things that's going to be happening in these last days, man. All right, but again, that is a great movie, to watch that really, to the best of its ability, depicts, how it's going to be, how the minds of the people is going to be, man. But like I was saying, people weren't, taking it serious until the last minute, until it was certain, that, World War III was going to commence and they were going to get possibly hit. That's when people started to panic. That's when people started to drive out. That's when people started to panic buy, and raid the stores. Okay, it was crazy, and the way they filmed it was excellent, man. They showed people up in frenzy, people in a frenzy, bugging out. It was dog eat dog. Okay, and that's pretty much, you see that happening now without the people thinking that there's going to be an attack, without ICBM missiles being launched. All right, people are already in that state. All right, over here in the UK, you had the whole thing with the petrol crisis. All right, and someone actually died, as a result of that petrol crisis, man. All right, you had people, stabbing people over petrol, So imagine if that's happening now, then what's going to be happening in that day? It's going to be a terrible time, man. A great day of judgment. And then, they actually show you the blast. And, for that time, the special effects were all right, man. They show you how, the mushroom cloud, the scriptures speak about, the scroll, all right, which is making reference to the mushroom cloud, man. All right, they show you that in the film, all right, and they show you how people are just getting obliterated, all right, getting zapped, while they're in their cars, while they're in, buildings in the cities and stuff like that. They show that immense heat, just covering people, and sending them straight to the spiritual realm, man. All right, they show you that, in the movie, man. All right, they show you, the outlines of their skeleton, just getting obliterated. They show you there was a young girl, she looked at the blast and she went blind, it burnt out her eyes. And what does it say in, I believe it's Zechariah, their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall melt away in their mouths. Roughly paraphrasing, man. All right, so it actually shows you all of these things in the movie, man. All right, and that's proof that Esau knows what's going on, man. He understands that World War III will indeed commence. All right, it's an inevitability, man, that it must indeed happen, man, and it's going to happen real soon. All right, because the scriptures talk about the wars and the rumors of wars. All right, and wars and rumors of wars, they've already commenced. All right, that's already, been happening, man. You've been hearing of wars and rumors of wars. But it's going to come a time, real soon, in the very near future, when certain other things are, fulfilled, all right, according to the scriptures, that you're actually going to be in the midst of World War III, man. And many spirits are going to be sent back to the spiritual realm in that day. All right, you're going to have, flurries of spirits, in a moment, all right, in a blink, just sent back to the spiritual realm, man. And that's why it says in the book of Isaiah, the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right, the Yahweh Shem Yahushua is coming to bring great judgment, great devastation, all right, to this world, man. All right, and that's why Yahushua said, you know, he's coming with a sword. You know, he's not coming with peace, man. All right, he's coming on a mission. He's coming to destroy the wicked of the earth, man. All right, he's coming to, you know, take over. He's coming to bring in a new righteous regime, man. And hey, the transition period of that happening is not sweet. All right, the judgment is going to be very bitter, man. All right, and that's why it's very important, all right, to watch and pray. You know, as the scriptures say, man, we got to watch and pray, and we got to stay in the spirit, all right, because we don't want to be, you know, partakers of that that terrible judgment that's coming to the world, man. You know, so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, and until next time, I'll say shalom.